take big franchise like Call of Duty. Big franchise like this, developers, they don't want to take any risks. They know it's gonna sell simply because the name is big. So the games are very boring these days. I don't really enjoy my AAAs. So, in order to relieve my boredom and Adams, we chose today to talk to you about our hidden gems.
All right, but speaking of, I will move on to my next game, which is not Other Side, but it is rather Shadow Tactics Blade of the Shogun. So if I can't remember, I might have actually talked about this game before. I don't remember. I have definitely talked about Desperados 3, which is a sequel to another franchise, but the spiritual successor to this game. And so basically, this game, well, let me go into the details first. So, Shadow Tactics was originally released back in 2016 on the PC and then in 2017 on the consoles. It was developed by Mimimi Productions and it was published by Daedalic Entertainment on the PC and Calypso Media on the consoles. And it is a stealth game, so if you're the kind of person who likes kind of the old school, what's the word I'm looking for? Not the word, the game. Metal Gear
RTS?
Solid. Metal Gear Solid, like the original Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation. If you like that kind of game, then this game is very, very similar in a lot of ways. But there is more of a tactics or a tactical aspect added to it. So basically, you have 5 characters, and each character specializes in certain skills. So, for example, you have a ninja who can throw shuriken or rocks. And if you throw a rock, it'll distract enemies. You know, they have their cone of vision, similar to what you would see on the radar back in Metal Gear Solid days. If you throw a rock, it'll distract them, so they'll look away. If you throw the shuriken, you can kill them, or shuriken? I'm not quite sure if the pronunciation is right, but you can kill them from a distance with that. You have a samurai. The samurai can do kind of a lunge attack, but he can also kill 3 guys in one go when he does it. So if you need to take out multiple enemies at a time, he can take out up to 3. He can also take out heavy units, which normally cannot be taken out by other guys. He also can throw down a bottle of sake, which when an enemy sees it, their vision will lock onto it and they'll walk straight towards it. So you can kind of distract them with the alcohol because, you know, that's always useful. You have a young girl who can set traps and do a bird call to kind of attract enemies to investigate. You have a woman who can dress up as a geisha, and she will not be caught out by enemies. And she can also distract enemies by chatting with them. And then, of course, you have an old man who is your sniper. So, yeah. But anyway, each character has their own set of skills, and in each level, you'll have tasks that you need to do, such as usually it's reaching a certain point, but it might also be like you need to poison a certain water supply, or you need to steal some secret plans or something like that. And you have to use the skills of your characters to do it, and you're going to have to use them together to do it. So, for example, you might need the woman to distract a guard, and you know, maybe there's 2 guards, so you need her to distract a guard while somebody else sneaks up on the second guard, you know, while the first guy's distracted and not looking. And you also have to take into consideration, you know, how noisy are certain things going to be. For instance, the shuriken can kill a guy from a distance, but you know, he'll scream if it hits him, so it can be quite loud. So you need to make sure that nobody's in the area to hear it. So you know, you might consider, I need to walk up closer to this person or whatever. And because of that, it actually makes it really interesting that it's different from Metal Gear Solid in that you have to use these abilities in conjunction with each other. So if you've ever played like an older game, I think it was
Commando.
no, not Commando. There was a really old game. I don't remember who made it. Was it Bethesda or Rockstar? Uh, Lost Vikings. Did you ever play Lost Vikings?
No.
I think it was Lost Vikings. It's a really old game. It was on Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. But basically, you had these three guys, and each one had an ability. One guy had a shield. One guy I think was really strong, and the other guy I think could jump really high or something like that. So the shield guy could hold his shield up. He could block for your guys, but he could also hold his shield up, and then you could jump on the shield to reach higher positions and stuff like that. So you had to use the characters in conjunction, and it's similar in this. And then they also have a tactical mode. Uh, Actually, I think you can complete every mission non-lethal with the exception of, so here we have Noble Cooper saying that some missions you can complete non-lethal, others you're forced to do lethal. I think you're only forced to do lethal against some of the bosses, or rather some of the targets, but the main guys you can do entirely non-lethal the entire game, I'm pretty sure. It's just the what do you call it, the targets. Sometimes you have to kill a certain target, but other than that character you can do it entirely non-lethal. And one thing that Desperados had over this is that in Desperados, after you knocked a guy unconscious, you could tie him up, and that was considered, that was pretty good. But in this one, you can't tie him up. So if you knock a guy unconscious, he's going to wake up eventually. So you have to consider, where am I going to put him and what sort of things like that. But yeah, it's really fun. And then what they do here, you can kind of see it if you're watching the trailer here, is they have a tactics mode, and what you can do is the screen kind of goes black and white, and you can set a character to do a task. So you can say like, okay, I want you to take out this guy, or I want you to do the bird call, or I want you to shoot this guy. And you can set up multiple commands, or you can set up one command for each character, and then when you hit a button, it goes and all characters will execute that command at the same time. So it adds, it basically solves the problem of, okay, I don't have multiplayer. How am I going to be able to do this if I need, speed? And it's like, okay, you can do this up. You can set this up so that you can do things quickly. And it's a lot of fun. I played it on the PS4. Now, it's also available on PC. And I think the gameplay, I have, since I haven't played it on PC, I'm assuming the gameplay is quite different from what I've seen. PC is more of click and the character will go there, so you can do things a lot faster because you can click and then you can click on the next character, say go here, so they can be moving at the same time. On the PlayStation, you're controlling the characters directly, so you're actually on top of the guy. So in that sense, it might go a little bit slower, but it still works very, very well. It's just a matter of, you can't just click and say go here. You'd have to use your tactical mode to do that and what. But overall, really loved this game. It was a lot of fun. It's the whole reason why I got Desperados 3, because I enjoyed this game so much that when I heard that they were making another game, I was super excited. But there's another reason that I wanted to pick this game today is because just last year, I don't think I have the date. Okay, so on December 7th last year, 2021, they released a standalone DLC called Aiko's Choice, and this basically takes place during the events of the game. It's kind of a side mission that, during a time gap in the game, that they have a special mission where they have to deal with a former associate of one of the characters, Aiko right here, the character who just coincidentally is on the screen right now. But she has to deal with a certain situation, and so basically it's just extra levels. Now the good thing about this is it is standalone DLC, so you can actually just download the DLC and you don't even need to have the original game. You can just play the DLC on its own, which is great for me because they did the one thing, not the one thing, but one of the things that I absolutely hate in gaming, and that is when you give somebody a game and then you take the franchise off a platform so that people who are already fans cannot participate in future installments. So currently this is only available on PC. It is not available on console. So if you played the game on console, if you want to play Aiko's Choice, you have to play it on PC, which is very sad. And I was very disappointed when I found that out. And yeah, and apparently I guess the reason that they said that is because just developing it for PC and then going back and redoing things for console just wasn't worth it, I guess, based on sales or something, or the amount of effort for just a DLC or whatever. So because of that, if you want to play the DLC, you have to play it on PC, or you have to play it on PC, and that really disappoints me because just recently earlier, I believe it was earlier this month, or no, it was last month, I guess. Same thing happened with Other Side, where they released an update and DLC, and it was on PC, and then us on console were waiting for it. And I was looking on Reddit, and somebody was like, "Oh, okay, when is this coming out for console?" And one of the developers went on Reddit, and they said, "We do not have plans to release this on console at this time." And I'm like, "Oh no!" Like, I want to give you money, please let me give you money, but I don't want to have to buy the game twice. Come on, that so I was so disappointed that they don't have plans to release that. And then I see, Aiko's Choice is out, and then they're like, nope, it's only going to be on PC. And I'm like, oh gosh, stop doing this, people. Either never give it to me or always give it to me. Don't do this thing where you give it to me and then take it away. That's what I really hate.